of a pure sports car has been kept alive by the people who race them. Those who believe in the simple thrill that only comes from driving a lightweight car with a lot of power. A car that car companies no longer made. But now, the new Mazda, the people who brought back the Roadster, announce the return of the pure sports car. The new RX-7. Mazda, it just feels right.
Alright guys, welcome to the end of the road for the Tamiya 1/24th scale Mazda rx7-r1 project. This was a really cool build. I enjoyed it a lot. Has just a couple of fitment issues, but other than that, overall it's an incredibly well made, well engineered kit. This is from 1992, I think is the date on this kit. It is of the third generation Mazda RX-7, which I think ran until about, I want to say 98. I could be wrong on the dates, but this car ran for quite a while. It was a beautifully balanced 2+2, if you really want to try and squeeze into those back seats. Rotary powered sports car. It was had a beautiful 50-50 weight balance. It was fast. It was beautifully sculpted. Beautiful car. And one of my favorite Japanese sports cars. So let's take a little close-up look at the kit. Okay, first off, I want to say that, as I said before, this is a gorgeous Tamiya kit. It's originated in 1993 or 92, I think I said. Has posable steering, as we can see there. Great detailing. For the most part, there was a little bit light on detailing on the interior and the engine compartment, so I added a few things here and there to try and liven that up a bit. The fit of the kit was flawless, except for one item, which is the hood. Now, I built the right-hand drive Japanese version of the car, as I thought it'd be appropriate for one of the best Japanese sports cars out there. And that being the case, I had to put the wipers in the right-hand drive configuration. Now, the one problem I had with that is that the now passenger side wiper on the left didn't have enough clearance with the hood in order to sit perfectly flush with the body. So I'm going to show you what I did there, which is still going to require a little bit of tweaking, but for the most part it worked. I just notched out the bottom of the hood, which will, at some point I'm going to finish the underside of the hood here, but I had to notch that out to clear the wiper arm. And once I did that, the hood sat much better than it had originally. Still needs a little bit of work, as it still teeter-totters a little bit on that wiper, so I have to get in there and open that up a little bit more. Now, the only other issue I had with this kit was, which I don't know if it was a fault of the kit or the fault of my particular model, Let me see if I can just set it down fully. I am working on an inclined background here. But I had one wheel which stuck out further than the other, which may have to do with the fact that parts of the rear suspension were a little bit warped. This car spent over 20 years sitting in pieces in a box. As every time I went to try and assemble it, something else came up, and I moved on to that instead of doing this. So this is a kit that never got touched. I bought it new in '92, and just never got around to building it. So some of the suspension components were a little warped, but I made do with it. And I found that if I cut the mounting peg for the wheel just a little bit shorter, the wheels tucked in right into the body where they are supposed to be. It was the left rear wheel which stuck out a little bit further, and as you can see now, if we turn it over a little bit, it's tucked right into the body the same as the right side. Now the detailing on this kit, as I said, for the most part is excellent. As if we take a look at the undercarriage, just give you a good look here at the underside. You can see the really great detailing that Tamiya put into this chassis. Now, mind you, the car does not bring a transmission, so it's all molded into the underside of the chassis, but as you can see, with some detail painting and a little bit of weathering, it really comes off very, very, very nicely. If you follow the build, you saw everything I did to put into this chassis, and I went into how I achieved all of my weathering and age defects on the underside. The main part of the chassis here is in the same color as the body, which is Tamiya metallic orange, but unlike the body, which I have cleared and polished, the underside I didn't, as the underside of the cars are rarely ever polished and clear coated. So I wanted to have a slight different tone in the color than I did on the body. Now the exhaust is a one-piece exhaust, which just involved a lot of weathering and airbrushing using alclad paints, and I really like the effect that I got here. The control arms were hand painted using Revell aqua colors, flat aluminum, and again, that's a paint that I really like. I recommend it. They get a little thick, but they brush on very well and they cover very well. The black is Tamiya semi-gloss black. I used a variety of different colors here on the exhaust, and using the base color is a Tamiya titanium silver, and on that I sprayed various alclad colors in order to give the different tones, and then topped it all off with the Tamiya panel line accessory paint. And I think it came a pretty good effect of a car that's used but not abused. It's a little dirty on the underside, like most cars will be, and just looks like one that's been enjoyed. Alright, let's take a look at the engine compartment. Okay, here we have in the engine compartment, you can see I've added a bit of detailing. There's quite a few parts as far as here, let's see if we can get a good look at that. We have some wiring harnesses added, some fuse boxes, electrical component boxes, all added to the left side. And on the right side, we have some relays on a bracket that looks more or less the way it did in a reference photo I used, along with some more harnesses and piping going from the hydraulic unit of the braking system. You see some brake lines going in the back, going to the master cylinder. All of that was added just to busy up the engine compartment. While an excellent mold and excellently engraved by Tamiya, it did feel like it had a couple of spots that were just a little too empty. And I really don't like empty spaces where clutter is supposed to be. So I thought that that gave it a much more realistic appearance with the wiring harnesses running through the engine compartment. And then I, again, painted the interior of the engine compartment. Was painted the same color as the body, Tamiya Tamiya metallic orange, but not clear coated, and then weathered just to give it a slightly different tone than the body, such as in the real car. The strut tower brace, the chrome ends of it were done by spraying Molotov chrome pen with my airbrush on there, which gives a really good chrome effect. All right, here we can take a good look at the interior, and you can see the right-hand drive setup as it's appropriate for a Japanese sports car. The seats are two-toned. You can see that in there, front and rear. I have there's seat belts, and if you follow the build, you know I have made the belt loops out of photo etch material for the seat belts. Seat belts are now attached to the B pillar as they are in the real car, to give you a realistic effect of the seatbelts being in the car. We also have the brake calipers, which, see if we can get a good look at that there. Brake calipers are the same color as the body of the car. The black trim is done in Tamiya Tamiya semi-gloss black. Alright guys, so there we have her. Apart from the misalignment issues with the hood, which I'm still in the process of figuring out, gotta do a little more work on that just to get it to lay flush. I'm very happy with this kit. The paint job came out much better than I even expected it to. That is all done by a spray can, no airbrush involved. That, as I said before, that's the Tamiya metallic orange and Tamiya clear from a spray, and polished out using the Tamiya compounds, which give you a really good result. I'm very happy with it. The only part I'm not really happy with is the black trim, as I didn't thin it enough when I sprayed it, and so it looks a little rougher than it should. At some point I might go back in and redo that, but since I'm overall very happy with this build right now, I'm calling it done, and ready to move on to the next one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the ride on this one as I get ready to start my next project. And I hope you'll join in on the channel and follow me on the next one. So I'll leave you with a last look at the RX-7 in all its glory, one of the best Japanese sports cars out there. And I will see you on the next one. Remember, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up. It really helps out. I'm trying to get the channel to grow. And every time you guys like the video or give a thumbs up, it really does help to spread the word, the channel, and get it out there. So you guys can join me on the next build. I will see you then.